I'm Craig Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And today we're going to be talking about learning the hard way.
Yes.
You know, Margaret's got a good article that she wants to share with you guys on learning the hard way. But I just wanted to say that oftentimes we come out of a difficult relationship. We've had a lot of problems. Maybe things just completely went sideways and in a hurry, because that happens a lot.
All the time.
But if you learn from your mistakes and you learn from your relationship, you can make better choices for your future relationships. Right. So it's so important that you evaluate what went wrong.
Right.
Why did the relationship not work? One of the things that I'm really proud about with the workbooks is that it's focused a lot on the relationship and what hasn't worked in your relationships, so you can correct it and for the next relationship, because it's so important. So we got a good article here that I think we found helpful, and there's one major point to it that you really liked.
Yes, that I really liked. This is the gentleman who has the business degree from Yale, and I think he brings an interesting perspective to all of this, because it's different from the mental health where Craig and I were trained.
Is this Mark Manson?
This is Mark Manson, yeah. Learning the hard way, and he's sharing some personal information here. My first handful of significant relationships were mired with a lot of manipulation and victim-rescuer dynamics. These relationships were great learning experiences, but they also caused me a great deal of pain that I had to eventually learn from. Okay?
Oh yeah. Pain will make you wake up.
Yeah, pain is quite the motivator. It wasn't until I managed to find myself in relationships with some emotionally healthy women who were able to manage their flaws well that I really learned what to look for when dating someone. I'll say it again. Some emotionally healthy women who were able to manage their flaws well. Okay?
Manage your flaws.
Manage your flaws. You have to know what they are.
That is a tough thing to do.
Yes, it is.
Especially when you're flawless like me.
Well, I know, Craig.
It's so difficult.
I know.
I mean, you're just so minuscule.
And you've even had to look to try and make up a few so you could appear human.
Exactly.
It's been very difficult for you.
It's ridiculous.
I know. Flawless Craig. Yes. And I discovered in this time that there was one trait in a woman, and that would be in any partner, that I absolutely must have to be in a relationship with her or him. And it was something that I would never compromise on again, and I haven't. Some of us are unwilling to compromise on superficial traits, looks, intelligence, education, etc. Those are important. But if there's one trait that I've learned you should never compromise on, it's this: the ability to see one's own flaws and be accountable for them.
Okay.
All right? Now, I have found my one flaw.
You have a flaw?
Oh, I have several, yeah. But the fact...
I didn't think this day was going to come. Are we talking about his flaw or yours?
All of us.
You have a flaw?
We all have flaws. I got a flaw in every single room.
Oh, man, that was bad.
That was a Boston pun because of the way we talk. All right. Because the fact is that problems are inevitable. Every relationship will run into fights, and each person will run up against their emotional baggage at various times. And we all have some emotional baggage.
Yeah.
How long the relationship lasts and how well it goes comes down to both people being willing and able to recognize the snags in themselves and communicate them openly. Okay? Think of your love interest and ask yourself, if I gave him or her honest, constructive criticism about how I think he or she could make things better, how would they react? Would they throw a huge fit? Would they cause drama? Would they blame you and criticize you back? Claim you don't love them? Storm out and make you chase after them? Or
those are flaws? I guess I do have a couple.
yeah. Or would they appreciate your perspective? And even if it hurts a little, or if it's uncomfortable, even if there was a little bit of an emotional outburst at first, would they get over it and say thank you for the feedback? So
wow.
It's short, but it's very powerful.
And one of the things that I was thinking is when you are aware of attachment theory and what your attachment style is,
yes.
that would be a good place to start where you're looking for your flaws.
Right.
Because, if you're anxious in a relationship, there's probably going to be a lot of behaviors that are insecure. Maybe some controlling behavior,
yep.
lack of empathy,
right.
lashing out, controlling.
Right.
And so if you're anxious, those are going to be some of your issues. Now, if you're avoidant, you're probably not communicating very well.
Right.
You're probably distorting reality somewhat, blaming other people for things that you're doing.
And if you're anxious, you're probably sure that this person has several other things they're more interested in than you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
But that's a good place to start,
yep.
is by looking at attachment theory.
Yep.
And figuring out...
Good for you, Craig. That's a good thought.
Yeah.
But I can tell you, I have had to apologize if I was busy, and I'm not easy to extricate if I'm busy, when I've said, I am so sorry. You were trying to tell me you were upset, and I missed your cue. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I've had to say that. It's not easy, but I have had to say it. Okay.
You're hearing it first, folks.
Yeah.
I haven't heard this before.
No.
Margaret has a flaw.
I do. I have several. I've never said I didn't. Yeah, I've had to say that. Yeah. And I mean, it's okay. If we miss something that we wish we'd gotten or we get later, it's perfectly okay to go back and say, I'm really sorry. You sent me signals saying blah, blah, and blah, and I didn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Not your fault, mine. You tried to communicate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, when you're going...
And that's what that means. Yeah.
When you're going through a breakup, it's... one of those things that we're always doing is we're looking at and we're reevaluating why the relationship failed. And learn from this, okay? That's so important that you take the pain and you learn from it so you don't make the same mistakes. And that also means choosing a good partner.
That's right.
And many of you guys are saying, I don't care about choosing a good partner, I just want my ex back. Well, that kind of stubborn behavior might wind up getting you really hurt.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And you may get your ex back. We all know that. But you may not.
That's right.
If you've grown, then so much the better for you.
And some of you guys will simply outgrow your ex and say, you know what? I want better. I want different. It wasn't working for me either now that I'm looking at it. And that's okay.
The other thing is you can get some people to faint because apologizing is not in these days. You hear all the arguments on TV, right? So-and-so needs to apologize. Nope. So-and-so doesn't. Yes, they do. No, they don't. And eventually, sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. But people don't apologize easily. So if out of the blue you say to your partner, I'm sorry, I think I missed one of your signals. After they get up off the floor, they might say, wow.
Yeah,
right?
Really.
Like if Craig ever said he had a flaw.
Well, I just admitted to a couple of them.
Yes, you did. Good for you.
Even though they were made up ones.
Yeah, even though they were made up ones, right. Well, Margaret, you're on the way. You're on the way. You're in the process.
I'm in the process.
Yeah, he's in the process of recognizing his flaws. But it is what it's all about. I mean, if we're grown-ups, we have to own our behavior.
So hopefully you found this helpful, and you do start to think about what happened, what went wrong, and were you with a partner that could accept their flaws?
Yeah.
What did they do when you told them that there was something that bothered you? How did they handle it?
Or did they tell you you were wrong, or you were crazy, or or like he said, cause drama, get upset, yell at you? But the other thing is, if you acknowledge a flaw, it kind of puts them in a position where they might have to.
Well, Yeah, that's
right?
true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so hopefully you found this video helpful. Of course, when you want to get our help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net. Sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Margaret is also available for Skype coaching.
Yes, feel free to sign up with me. I would love to talk with you.
Just click on Margaret on the top of the website to do that. Make sure you look for us on the podcast. We're on all the major platforms. Just search for me. And be sure to subscribe for the channel. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And we will talk with you soon.